Susana Mendoza is the Illinois Comptroller who took her brother's COVID fight to the state and got the active duty bill passed with a unanimous vote earlier this year. And she joins us live in studio tonight. Comptroller, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you so much, Natasha, for shining light on this situation, not just for my brother, but more importantly for all the other officers who stand to benefit from the work that came about because of his sacrifice, but also hopefully with the aim of helping Officer Feliciano.
Yeah. I want to ask, I mean, your brother served for 22 years, as we saw in this story. He got COVID on the job, suffered enormous life-changing consequences. Not only the 5 strokes, loss of the use of his kidneys, his left arm as well, his life forever changed by this. What message do these denials send to first responders?
So it sends a message to them that they are worth more dead than alive. And that is absolutely disgusting. My brother's sacrifice didn't even merit a thank you from the board that denied him his duty disability after almost giving his life. They challenged our petitions at every step of the way, even through the court system. And essentially, thankfully, because I was able to change the state legislation, is that he's getting justice today. But it's really terrible that you would have to die for the family to actually be able to say that their loved one sacrificed in the duty to their city. And thankfully, that's not the case anymore.
Can you explain that distinction? When you say better off dead than alive, or the difference there, why is that? If he had passed away from COVID in that ward during that 72-day fight, how would it have been different?
So that is the difference. That had my brother died from the COVID that he was hospitalized for during that period of time, before vaccines were available, the city of Chicago would have awarded our family duty death benefits for my brother. They would have considered it a line of duty death. But because he did not die and he actually survived, but his catastrophic consequences, he doesn't get that presumption of doubt that or the benefit of the doubt that he contracted COVID while in the performance of a duty. So literally, they're telling our officers that they're worth more dead than alive, and you honestly should not have to die to be eligible for your duty disability benefits.
And now we're seeing a similar fight unfolding in New York right now. What is your message to the pension board who denied Officer Feliciano?
Well, number one, I'd say that it was a complete betrayal to Officer Feliciano, and they should do right, not make Officer Feliciano have to spend thousands of dollars on legal fees defending something that is indefensible. Their actions are morally corrupt and bereft of anything other than cruelty. And so really, as a nation, we should all be appalled at the treatment of our officers. These officers pay into their pensions precisely for the event that should there be a situation where they either die or they come close to death and they're unable to return back to work, the money that comes out of their paycheck, every paycheck, is supposed to be there to protect them during these types of circumstances. So the board should do the right thing and make sure that Officer Feliciano is thanked by the city of New York for her sacrifice and her service, 17 years of service, putting away sex offenders. We should be thanking her, not making her go through the pain and the ordeal that I know firsthand how horrible it is. Your story covered it beautifully. You heard my brother talk about suicidal thoughts, about what kept him alive. And I guarantee you that without having spoken yet to Officer Feliciano, who I hope will give me the time to speak with her and see how I can help, all of those thoughts had to go through her mind as well. And the only thought that should be going through her mind is, what do I need to do to get better? What can I do to still feel like I can be happy? And how proud I am that my city appreciated my sacrifice. She hasn't had any of that. So I would like to see New York do the right thing. Hopefully, the courts will do the right thing for her, unlike here in Chicago. And if not, then I'm ready and willing to help in any way, shape, or form I can. And I'm sure a lot of the officers in Chicago who have seen what we could do here in Illinois would stand up and step up for that officer as well in New York City. It's all one big law enforcement family. And that's why I want to say thank you to you again, because it's not very often anymore that I turn on a TV station and see anyone showing any kind of empathy or caring about our first responders. And so I really do want to thank NewsNation and you, Natasha, for bringing this to light, because we need more of that, not less.
I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Thank you for the work that you've done. Thank you to your brother as well.
Oh, thank you.
We'll keep tracking the story. Comptroller Susana Mendoza, appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.